The doctor is in.
So, what did SK play before this? So it's Control Shift 3, Control Shift 2, and then Eraser is Control Shift 5. Okay. Hunger. So SK have played Jhin, Kalista, Draven, all AD carries that have early game prio, a couple of Renatas and a DOS, and a bot. Mid laners that can game prio, ganking junglers, and just the general top laners we see. What are they banning? They're banning a lot of Ashe. They left Ashe open one game. They don't like Rumble, but they also don't get to pick Rumble because it's banned against them. Okay. And they pick Renata if it's free on blue side. What do they ban? They ban Melio if they're going to pick Renata, and they bang Ashe. Makes sense. What a Fnatic play. Fnatic ban Ashe blue side, Nocturne. Does SK not ban Nocturne at all? SK have, I mean, it's Ismet, right? Yeah, okay. They have Nocturne ban against them in every game. Good one, Necro. And they have a lot of Jax. Irrelevant was really good at Jax. Fnatic having Vi banned against them in every game. I wonder if Razork's just been playing a lot of Vi. I mean, it sets Humanoid up really well if they have Vi, right? So... Okay. Ashe ban just eliminates early pressure from Fnatic bot lane, especially if Noah plays Ashe. I assume Jhin does. Then Melio ban means you can't just go AF Melio, right? Which is really strong. And with SK wanting to prio aggro ADs, Ashe Melio, Aphelios Melio just nullifies that. Early pick Jax for Irrelevant would make sense. Also flex, right? Jax can also go jungle now, so that's okay. The LeBlanc ban implies they want to go Azir or Akali mid, but because Azir is open, they pick it here. They pick the Kalista for pressure. Probably assuming that Exakick won't go for Draven. But his Draven is really strong. You want music lower? Okay. His Draven is really good generally, so... Draven Renata into Kalista I think is pretty strong here. I don't think you ever pick Hwei here. You go Blitzcrank to try and match the Renata, because if you hook Renata, it's pretty good. Also gives you good pressure at 6 for this bot lane, trying to match this bot lane's pressure, because you can dance around the Renata R. If you put Jax jungle here, Blitz is also good into it, because you can just run up to him. But then you have the counter strike to stop the E. What did Fnatic want here then? Fnatic probably want ganking jungler. SK can flex this to jungle, so they want power mid. So I guess SK look for jungle bans here, or they could try and get rid of... I mean, they could look for Gwen bans. And Cassante. Okay. So do Fnatic just go mid bans? Maybe they don't think Niski will play Akali. Can Kalista ever win level 1 with different support? Kalista Ashe might be able to level 1 into a Draven, but into Draven Renata is really tough. I don't think you ever get Prio with Blitz unless you get early hooks. There's the Akali ban. Do you ban Akali Orianna then as Fnatic? There's the Cassante ban. You could go Kalista Soraka actually, and that might be able to beat Draven Renata level 1. I think that would actually be really strong. What do they ban next? Xin, okay. So they're just trying to put Isma. They don't expect this to flex. So they're just trying to put Isma in a more difficult position, which makes sense. They've already banned the Nocturne. Isma would then have to fall back to... I mean, Rel is the only other thing he played, right? I assume this was his Rel game. There's the Vi ban against Razork. So they want to stop the mid-jungle synergy. Sejuani implies melee top. I think maybe Viego would have been nice here as well. Instead of Sejuani. Just gives you so much jungle mid pressure. But Sejuani gives you CC and frontline as well. So that makes sense. Mao would have been okay here. I like the Rel. I think Rel on Grubs is overlooked because you can just you can clear them out for free pretty much because they don't get the shield. I think this needs to be slightly thicker, doesn't it? It's a bit better. Nico final pick. I mean that's a weaker mid jungle, right? You have CC, but you only have really a burst window. Renata doesn't. Rel doesn't do that much damage, but Rel can look bot and top if she wants. I don't know. I think Nico can get pushed into Azir early game, and then you just go for safe melee top. Okay. So compositionally, I mean it's all about bot lanes, isn't it? Right? Like Draven Renata should get level 1 into Kali Blitz. So if you're Fnatic, you overload bot side early game, like level 1, like pre-spawn. And then you try and get a Blitz hook or get control of Pixel. And if you get control of Pixel, then you can force enemy AD support to go through the bottom side of the lane. But we'll see if they do that. Is there just like a complete wipe function? There we are, that's the one. So let's see what both teams do. I didn't watch this game that closely. Obviously, I watched a little bit of it, but I was playing ARAMs at the same time as well. So with it being the last game of the last day, I kind of just wanted to chill. Sejuani into Rel is nice as well because you can disengage her. Alright, so SK load bot lane, which makes sense. They're trying to stop the possibility of Kalista Blitzcrank getting early pressure and the Blitzcrank moving into this side of the jungle, right? Fnatic just do a line of scrimmage. They want to make sure that their SK don't read the fact that Kalista Blitzcrank want to go bot side and then push in towards the red side jungle, so... Yeah, money is so low, man, it's painful. And we had a pause, obviously, because why would we not have a pause? Was it a short one? It was. Alright. So what are SK doing well? Well, they get control of Pixel, which means they get into lane first. Kalista Blitz have to give level 1, which becomes difficult for them. Top lane, I think it's relatively even. You can see double shield means they both expect to trade, but want to just the regen. DOS gets early push here. Jun and Noah have to sit back. Jun is looking for hooks, but I think it's actually really difficult for Jun to play this lane. Because the thing with Renata is, like, obviously Blitz into Draven is nice because you can just look for where his axes are going. But a good Draven player will, like, have his axes because you move in the direction, right? And then your axes just spawn behind the minion wave. And Renata can always just stand here until she wants to step up and queue. I assume DOS is running Bone Plating Guardian, which is really powerful. Because what you can do as DOS here is just get hooked. Right? Yeah, they have Ignite, but Kalista needs a few spears in you before she can kill you. So DOS can just get hooked, then Jun has to like try and get away, but he'll be level 1, level 2, right? I don't think Blitz into Renata is great here. Because I think the Renata just becomes too tanky with Guardian. As soon as Draven steps up, Blitz is just taking free damage. Kallista's trying to put some spears in, but I think that's actually probably winning for the Renata Draven because of how much pressure Draven can put on early game. You can see DOS is very willing just to step up. They get 2 first. Jungles are pathing. What did Razork do? Is it... Okay, so we're seeing this clear a lot. You go red... Krugs, or just red. Is it just red? Because Krugs spawn later? Or did he start Krugs? Okay. I guess it Krugs red into blue Gromp. No, they haven't spawned yet. Krugs haven't spawned. It's just red. Red into Gromp into blue. Look for bot side pressure. You don't know exactly where enemy jungle started because you don't have vision. But you can expect that Rel will path this way. And then you can make sure you get Scuttle Crab first, and you can go back into your jungle. So. But yeah, Noah Jun have to give up pressure. Maybe Kalista after a couple of items will be fine. Like after she gets Blade or something, she'll kill the Renata. But you can also go Locket on Renata, and it becomes even harder to kill her, right? You don't have to go Shurelia's build. I think Locket Renata is really strong. She actually just becomes a pseudo tank. Especially with W as well, right? Because I think people underestimate that with Renata, right? If I'm Renata and I stand up in this lane, if I'm pushing up... I mean, why am I drawing on a different lane instead of just on the lane that has Renata on it? If I'm Renata, right? And I stand up here and just push forward, and then I get hooked by Jun here, and I'm level 3, I just press W on myself. Draven walks up, I Q the Blitzcrank, pull him back. Who cares if I die? Blitzcrank's going to die on the switchback. I get bailout, and then we can turn our eyes onto Noah. It's really strong. Also, your E on Renata slows, which means Kalista has reduced attack speed. So if you get hooked, you just E here, Q the Blitzcrank, W yourself, and you're unkillable. Okay. Trading in top lane. No one's going there, ever. Yeah, so you can see Sedge doing blue into Gromp. Maybe look bot gank first, but it's a good ward here from the SK bot lane, knowing that that might happen. She'll go Wolves. Then she'll come down, maybe, for invade. Interesting path from Isma to go up towards top. They see that Oscarinen's low. And Oscarinen just dies. Nice path. This is like a subversion of expectations path, right? Because the expectation is that Rel just clears through bot side and then goes into bot side for a gank. But because they see that Oscarinen's low, they know they can just step up and get the kill there. So it's good movement by Isma. Good call from Irrelevant to say, hey, we can kill. And now Oscarinen's TP back with a refillable. And Irrelevant hasn't had to burn TP and has full items. Wave's pushing into him as well because they shoved the wave. Razork hasn't had an opportunity to do anything here because... Let's see what the SK bot lane does, right? So SK bot lane places this ward in Tribush here at this moment. And then Razork realizes, hey, I'm only level 2, I can't gank, so he starts to clear over here. SK bot lane then takes that opportunity, knowing that they're putting pressure through topside to make sure this wave shoves in, and then they should back out after this next wave. They could have been ganked if Razork came around this way. But after this wave, they back out. They're safer because they know resets are happening here. And the opportunity that Razork could have had if he'd gone for full clear down to bottom side, which would be happening around now, 3:30, would have been to gank this lane. But the lane's already back in base. So SK playing really well around the fact that where their jungler is on the map and the possible gank paths of the enemy. That's really smart. And then wave shoving into them as well. So many caster minions. They can clear this out. Maybe even try and get Isma into this. Oh, it's actually just really good. It's actually just really good. So Isma did the subversion path by pathing back up, right? Then he clears his bot side out. And by the time he's cleared his bot side out, his bot lane is back in the lane. They're back here, right? and the wave is shoving in. So what does Isma do? He says, okay, well, if I can get into this second bush, we can look for a gank. We don't know that Razok is on reset, but we should be able to win trades. We've got 3-3, we have 4 summoners, we've had an extra recall, so we have better items, and we've had recall for top lane, right? So recall for jungle. It's actually just really good play from SK, man. This is good fundamentals. Mid lane doesn't matter at all. Right now, Jun is stepping forward, Isma sneaks. Sneak, 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 sneak. Isn't seen, Jun looks for the hook. Sweeper spots him, really nice. They don't know Razok is here right now, so Isma needs to be tracking this. He'll go for Scuttle. Razok could look for this gank, but it's a really hard gank to land. Because what you'd like to do, right, is be able to come around here, and as the wave comes back in, then Razok ganks, right? But you have control ward here, and you have a ward here, so Razok has to try and come this way. And because the wave is pushing into SK, they can just hold here on the next bounce, which is coming in 5 seconds. It's actually just really intelligent. DOS just overstep here. So I think they have more pressure than they do. They're kind of faking that Isma could still be around. Yeah, DOS is a little greedy here. As is Exakick, right? Both of them, they have 2 minions left, right? And Razok, they know Razok could be here. They should have just been back here. They're trying to get it to a position where it freezes here. But in all honesty, when you know your jungler has left, even if he's on Scuttle Crab, you should be giving up a little bit more pressure here. The problem with that is like if you give up the pressure, Fnatic then think your enemy's left, right? Good hook from Jun, but bad play from SK there. Well played by Fnatic to find the kill. But I think SK should have just given pressure a little bit more. They were too confident with the fact that Isma was the only jungler on that side of the map. Irrelevant winning early trades. I hear Spear first is really good on Jax now. He's gone triple tonic as well. Niski gets pushed in mid. They spot Jun. Okay, good hook, but no one's tanking. Pop Blossom, Niski still not tanking. Oscar in goes a little deep. Gets killed with the... What's Nico Q called? Blooming Burst. Alright, so let's think this back. So they get push. Reset happens from Jun, as expected. Not on vision. Second reset happens from Noah on vision. His tempo is shut down. Jun paths through mid. This is called opening mid. He opens mid. Realizes mid is pushed in, there's nothing I can do here. Was maybe looking for something on Niski. And then he's like, fuck, top is hard shoved. Is he spotted? He should be. I mean, maybe he's not spotted because of that. Realize top's hard fucked. Oscar is going to get dived again. So he sprints top lane. Spots Niski. Is a bit unlucky here because it's a good hook on Niski. Right? It's a good hook on Niski, who is stunned. Did flash for it, but Niski's not tanking, so they think maybe we can burst him quickly enough. Niski just gets out of tower range. Irrelevant then turns it back. Niski with a good pop blooming burst. Then Razok comes across. Yeah, so Razok was clearing bot to top. He hasn't reset yet. The other thing SK are doing here is using this time. So this is a play you sometimes see where mid laner will move from mid to try and draw attention. This is like, it's a possible kill on Oscar Rinin, but it's more an attention play, right? I'm sure they name it something else, right? Maybe we get a kill, but all he's trying to do is be like, hey, your mid and jungle, likely on, your bot and jungle, likely on reset, or support and jungle. Can I get them to come to the top side of the map? Can I get them to come this way? Because if they do, our bot lane's just reset, and we have our jungler bot side, so we can take Drake, right? It's low risk, decent reward, as you say, Taco. Maybe they get the kill. If Jun shows up, I mean, Niski plays this really well, right? I think he should have died because they did go a little hard for it, and maybe didn't expect Jun to be there as quickly as he was. But In the end, as soon as Oscarvin's dead, there's no damage. Niski dodges away nicely. Razork has to invest flash. You get 3 flashes out for this play in a 2v3, and you get the Drake. Like, it's well played. Thoughts on Callista Dirk? I mean, it helps you trade with the Draven early. I think Callista build at the moment is like Blade, right? Some people are going full lethality build, right? So I can kind of get the Dirk if you want to go full lethality build. Halo Blades. Everyone else goes tempo. Some people going... Like, this is no Halo Blade. Is this... Oh, this is the actual game. Does he sell the Dirk then? Maybe he thought he wanted to go lethality and then changed his mind. Yeah, I think getting Blade first would have probably been better. And Niski plays this really well. But the problem is, right, Niski, either he's smart enough or he realizes, hey, we don't actually want to take this fight, but he doesn't take aggro. If he took tower aggro, it would have been a lot worse. Then goes Invis, they spot which one it is. Dragon goes down, Irrelevant's there to cover. Irrelevant's played this game really well. Pretty sure the Jax Renekton matchup is relatively even early on, but he's played it really well as well. They get so many summoners out. Yeah. I can understand not wanting to sit on the extra gold, right? Because their bot lane's doing fine. How do they get to the grubs here? This is one problem with replays. So, you don't see what happens during the reset. You can see Rel resetting there. She just skips her entire top side and goes straight to grubs. Immediately with Niski reset. Maybe they play through mid, get the shove out. And then Razork gets this kill. But then is low, so clears his top side. Actually, they see Razork back. They know it's really safe here because they see Razork backing from Niski's push forward. Yeah, Fnatic bot lane playing well in the 2v2. SK bot lane know they have to play back under tower because Razork can be here, right? Even though they have this control ward and this ward. But they know... Fnatic know that the SK bot lane is outnumbered. They know Isma was topside. So you can see Razork running here, hoping that Isma hasn't got here in time. Goes in, but then they see Isma. This is a well-placed ward by Fnatic, so... That's what I'm trying to work out at the moment, Gurk. I think SK, like Isma and Irrelevant, played really well. I think their map movement seems really solid. Obviously, like, Niski does elevate a lot of the junglers he plays with, but the ideas behind the plays seem really smart. And that's the big thing, right? Like, mechanically, I think there were people who were perhaps better than them in the league. But the way they are playing the map so far in this game seems intelligent, right? And I'm really, like, Isma is doing a really good job of understanding when he needs to be by a wave and when he should be taking camps. Like, his top side has been up for a fucking year. But he's just sacking his top side, being like, I actually can't play top right now because my bot lane is pushing in. We don't know where Razork is, so I need to guard this bush. They do have one ward, but me being here means that if someone comes across, we can collapse. We have hostile takeover. We have Exakick 6. Jun probably opens through mid, right? Does he open through mid here first? Yeah, Jun opens through mid again off reset. Do they see Jun resetting? I don't know if they see him resetting. But yeah, Isma goes mid, realizes he wants to shove it out, shows, could just go red here, but says, nope, let's go into this side jungle. They're pinging, maybe we dive off this wave, right? Thinking maybe on this wave we can push in here. Jun will come across and Razork will come across, so likely be stymied. But getting this deep position here means they can go in. I would have liked a ward here before they went for it, but they probably thought we don't have time. So they push in, it's another good gank. Isma does die because he was tanking, but in the end, you're forcing the Callista behind, and that's all you really want to do. Let's have another look. Can Razork and Jun have done anything better? Jun opens through mid, typical support. Maybe should have thought here, I just need to sprint bot. Because the autopilot for good supports at this level is open through mid, right? what you do is you go down here because it gives you every avenue to get to other lanes, right? Obviously, this is like 5 seconds quicker. Hey, congratulations, Paul. Obviously, it's like 5 seconds quicker just to run through top or run through bot. But you open through mid, and then it's easier for you to join with your jungler into one of these two paths. But here, because of the wave state and because of the lack of vision on this bot side, I think Jun should have just gone straight through bot. Because they don't have any vision at all over here. They have no idea what Isma's doing, and Isma can just skip a camp and come bot like this. I think if Jun's there from the start, you have Fate's Call, you have Blitz ult, static, whatever. Isma's tanking, he dies. Jun has to burn flash for it. But if Jun is there, I don't think this dive happens. It's another wave lost for Noah. So a slight misplay from Fnatic. I wonder if Humanoid was calling. Because Humanoid and Niski trade, and maybe Humanoid's like, hey, I need help shoving this back out. That might be what happens here, right? Because Niski can stay around, and Isma could be here. So Humanoid could be calling, hey guys, I want to catch this next wave and shove out so I get Nashers. Maybe he has full Nashers. He probably doesn't, but he might be there. And then he can shove out next wave, get the under here. He gets a base. He has TP coming back up, so then he can TP. Niski has the same. So they want Jun to cover. But I think Jun should have probably just gone bot. Irrelevant after the early ganks has just started to develop his own gold lead. He's really good at doing that. But yeah, lack of vision here. Just really fucks Noah. SK do well to play around the windows. Did Isma sweep as he came in? So yeah, he sweeps it all. He knows he's not on any vision. That's good play. That's just really well played by SK. I think this is a sort of thing you look for in a good team, right? They're not just mechanically outhandsing their opponents, right? They're not just like, our enemy played poorly, we played well. Right here, I think Fnatic have played a little bit poorly because they should have been able to cover this. But in the end, it's a solid dive. Jun arrives just in time to get the kill, but it's only onto Isma because they tanked the tower correctly. They played around map position correctly, and they knew exactly what they were doing, right? Isma's looking really good. And part of that is, like, I don't know who's shot calling for the team, but Isma's in the right position. His lanes know what they want. Titanic Hydra is a busted item. We can all agree on that. But Irrelevant doing a good job with his lead due to the early Isma gank top. And Isma's doing a really good job of tracking enemy jungler and making sure it's super hard for enemy jungler to play the map. Even without vision. Now, here comes a big question. SK, how do you set up around a Drake? Because Fnatic know they want to fight you now. Now, Irrelevant will move down first. Oscarvin in TP to top lane. So is he going to match? No, Irrelevant's already here. Oh. Fnatic think they're safe, man. Oh, this is so good. So look at these wards. Look at how much vision there's on the map. Ward here, control ward here, control ward here, ward here, ward here, ward here. Right? Fnatic are like, hey, we have set up for this dragon. We know we want to fight in however many seconds time, 20 seconds time. We know we want to get mid prio, move down, come across, and make sure we can collapse, right? We have parts of items across the board. They only have a locket. It's fine. We can still fight this. Irrelevant's top. He's got no TP. What's going to happen, right? Well, Irrelevant says, well, I'm just going to 1v1 Oscarvin. Great play by me. Oscarvin, I mean, he just thinks he can get out, doesn't he? It's a bit greedy from Oscarvin to stay there, right? But then it's like, okay, well, Isma was here as well. They could have gone for the gank, right? They don't need to. So Isma tracks where Razork is, spots him out, right? He's like, okay, Razork is top side. Cool. I'll path through mid. We can get mid prio if we want. Or we don't even have to fight for mid prio. We'll just come round and start to position on this Drake. Irrelevant realizes, hey, I don't have TP and Oscarvin is just TP back to top. So if I move first, we're going to have a man advantage at this Drake. And we know Fnatic want to fight it because it's second Drake, right? So they've got bot push. Noah's having to answer. Humanoid then has to step into darkness that's just been cleared out. Oh, it's so good, man. It's so good from SK. It's not hands, it's map. And then Irrelevant comes back. Yeah, he's lost a plate, but he doesn't really care, right? It's really solid map play. And they have had an easy first week. They played... I mean, MDK probably not as easy as perhaps I thought they were coming into the week. They played relatively well, but I think against SK they didn't play amazingly. And they played Rogue game 1, and Rogue were flaccid. Okay, how did they get these? Okay, so Razork, after the Drake, what's he doing? Dashes away, goes catches mid wave, goes to clear his top side. Isma clears his bot side. Still hasn't taken that red, by the way. How long has that red been up? This red? Does he takes it here at 4 minutes, right? It spawns at... Well, here we are. It spawns at 8:30-ish. Right? And we're now at 12 minutes. And he hasn't touched it. Is it the same with Blue? Blue has spawned at 8 as well. Does he take this Blue? The fuck, Isma? Isma hates his buffs. Isma despises buffs. And he's still within 4 camps. Wow. He just doesn't take him. These have been up for 4.5 minutes now. That's crazy. Razzle comes in and steals it away. And Isma's like, okay, cool. Another opportunity to maybe fight. Okay, so how do they do this? He skips red. Isn't pinged out, so maybe not seen on this ward here. And then he just sprints back up off the reset. They literally just like... It's Drake, reset. Drake, do camp, reset, go here. That's actually... It's just absurd. Irrelevant, obviously, can always get top prio now. He's 4-0. Like, he's 2k ahead. But for a game I thought would be dominated by the bot lane, it really hasn't been. It's been dominated by map movements. Isma losing a couple of camps, but he's already got Locket. He doesn't care. Relevant gets demolished proc off. It's another plate. Yeah, I might talk to SK about who their shot caller is and who is like talking about their macro, their early macro. Because I think this is such a good hero building moment as well. Like, this play is absurd. I'm not saying it's like, you know, it's just really, really solid macro for a first week of the LEC. From a team that, I mean, I expect these players to be good, but you didn't expect them to be just like totally out moving their opponents on the map. And the thing is, right, this movement is a really common one we see now, by the way. You move AD carry support into mid, and then usually you'd send your mid lane to bot lane, but Niski's just covering on the Herald, which is also fine. It does mean you're giving up a bit of pressure in the bot lane, as you can see. But plates have fallen at 14 minutes, so it's not the old sack you used to have with Herald, where it was like, oh, maybe we get 2 plates out of the Herald and the enemy team takes 2 plates bot. Nah, it's like, we'll sack the tower. We already have Irrelevant pushing in. Maybe the idea changes a little bit if Irrelevant hasn't gone that far. And you can see how much Fnatic are investing in bot side vision, right? With 2 minutes on the Drake, they have 3 wards here, 1 in the lane, and 1 ward and a Scuttle Crab in the river, right? SK will slowly push in. Dos can come across. Irrelevant has now pushed out top, so he can join the team. Oscar in still doesn't have TP, and they'll be tracking that. Now they'll clear out the vision. They can Rift Herald down here. Opens up bot side. They could open up mid, but it makes them a little bit more open to ganks. So instead, just going to shove through bot. Irrelevant's fucking massive. Let's just make sure we take this. Look at these Void Mites, man. Doesn't always seem like they do a lot. I'm trying to track the numbers. I've asked our stats team if we can find out a way to find them, because I think Void Mites and the Void Grub buff do so much. But okay, quick thing. By putting Rift Herald in bot lane, what do you do? Well, you know you're going to take tier 1 and you get the charge on tier 2. What does charge on tier 2 mean? It means Fnatic have to react. They've pulled Humanoid and Razork over to react. So what does that open up? It means you can come in here and you can clear out vision and you can set your own vision. Who cares that Fnatic have these 3 wards in your red side? Because you can put a control ward here, you can put a control ward here. Bit sad that we don't have any more wards available for DOS. I'd love a ward here as well. And it means when Fnatic come for this next Drake that's going to happen in 42 seconds, after you've probably reset, I mean, depends how much gold you have. After you've reset, you can then set up for the Drake and you have perfect information on how Fnatic are going to try and attack. It's really intelligent play. You clear out the wards on the way back out. Maybe they don't even reset. I think it's 30 seconds. They are just letting Oscarinin push in, but because they have a 5 stack, they can clear out the wave mostly with Draven ult. And then Isma resets with the Rift Herald buff, so he gets a fast recall. He's back out on the map. The Drake is up in, I assume, 14 seconds now. 10 seconds. They still have this one control ward deep in. Isma can step forward. Nico is answering because she has TP. Oscarinin also has TP. Can Niski trade with Oscarinin? That's the question. Pop Blossom burnt. Not great. Irrelevant in bot side. Yeah, I mean, Niski was a little greedy there. Didn't think about the fact that Oscarinin could just stand behind this tower. Oscarinin takes the tower. Now can reset. So that's good from him. Good movement. But to get that tier 2, Fnatic have had to sacrifice pressure over here because Irrelevant was close. And Irrelevant's so fucking strong. So SK get their 3rd Drake of the game, 17 minutes in. Yeah, Titanic Hydra is busted. So now what do SK do? What do you want to do in this situation for SK? Well, you want to reset, spend your gold, obviously. Baron is up in 2 minutes. Probably can't do that on spawn. But you want to unleash Irrelevant to keep pushing side lanes. He's got Kaenic Rukern, and he's got Titanic. Kind of implies he's probably going to be in more fights, because Kaenic Rukern, if he was just side laning, this would be something more armor focused to deal with the Renekton, unless they think Humanoid's going to answer him in a side lane, in which case that makes sense, right? So, what do you do? Regain control of your own jungle. Probably slow the game down a little bit. And then make sure you start getting a bit of deep vision in here. Set up towards top side. Drake is up in 4 minutes. Let's see what SK do. And see how Fnatic answers as well. Because this is one of Fnatic's, like, it's hard to find picks in moments like this because the enemy team doesn't have to fight. But you have a lot more time to think about what you want to do. You think Sojourn's better than Armor? I can see that, yeah. So Jun goes in, sets up vision around blue. That's spawning relatively soon. Exekick is isolated right now, but the rest of the team comes across. You can see Irrelevant is kind of playing push hover. He doesn't have deep vision here, right? So he doesn't know if Humanoid's going to move. So it's push, hover mid. Push, hover mid. Niski's trying to answer push on the other side, so he'll push this out. Rauzlok's trying to get some pressure in, but that's likely what we'll see for the next little while. DOS comes across here. He knows Jun's been in this jungle. Clears it out. Irrelevant steps. He's already pushed. Oscarinin can't answer. Humanoid gets caught. That's his ult plan. Good hook from Jun, though. I think that's a bit greedy from Exekick. Let's slow this down. So Exa's stepping for the autos. Yeah, I mean, I think he gets a tiny knockup from the Azure wall. Does he? Because I think Exa should be, like, expecting Azure wall here. No, he just steps into it. Yeah, that's greedy from Exa. Maybe if Isma was slightly quicker. Because Irrelevant sees the angle and Isma's here. He could hear Flash ult in. But yeah, Exa... Yeah. Just a little bit weak from Exa. Just caught. Didn't need to be. It was a good play up until that point. You burnt Humanoid's Flash. Now you've lost someone. Good news is it's still a minute and a half until Drake and Baron. A minute and a half till Baron and 3 minutes till Drake. So you have a window to... just keep pressuring. Irrelevant's still really strong. Humanoid has to back. Rauzlok flashes here. Yeah, okay. Ooh, greedy chase from Isma. Maybe they can still kill. Locket's going to be big, though. Don't think Isma needed to burn flash, though. But it's easier when we have complete information, right? It's very easy for me to say, hey, don't do this because the enemy team's nearby. Oscar's siding. Yeah, it's a bit of an overinvestment from SK to try and find kills. I think they should have just been happy with Humanoid's Flash. Maybe the pressure onto Rauzlok as well. Irrelevant kills him here, right? Even with Rauzlok coming across, I think he 2v1s. Irrelevant is feeling himself. Yeah, again, a little bit greedy stepping forward. But what this does do, right, is as soon as they see that Jun is here, they know that they can put pressure into... Oh, there's a freeze. They know they can put pressure into this side of the map, right? So they can just go in here, get vision. They see a ton of people on that side. Maybe even try and catch out Humanoid, who is being giga greedy. Why are you here, Humanoid? Like, why? This is Humanoid in regular season form. You see only Irrelevant, and you see mid lane. You see Draven mid lane on the map. Pings come out for Baron. SK are like, maybe we can do it. And Humanoid's like, nah, guys, it's fine. I burnt ult. I burnt flash. There's no way they'll engage on me. Oh, it's so greedy, man. Even if, yeah, he uses ult at the end. Even if he had ult earlier, I think he just dies. Now you've lost your mid laner. Irrelevant's TP'd in. SK start this up. Raz looks down towards bottom side with no flash. Jun can look for a hook, but they're all positioning in a way that's really hard for Jun to hook. I wonder if we should have had a bit more vision here, but they've skipped that step because they know they just killed Humanoid. Irrelevant blocking. Niski looking for the side. Magnet Storm, double stun. Hostile takeover only hits Oscarinin, but really SK just want this fight more than anything. Trying to get everything they can out. They get the Fate's Call to cleanse. Not as much as you'd like considering you burnt TP, but you haven't got, like, you used Pop Blossom, so... I wonder if Isma should have turned here. I mean, after the Counter-Strike comes out, but Irrelevant's just jumped out. I think Isma sees an angle that wasn't really there. It's all just a little uncoordinated, right? Irrelevant gets hooked, Counter-Strikes, jumps onto Isma, who then jumps in. DOS then tries to position for a hostile takeover, but... just one of those. I think team fights are really hard to master as a team, but you can see it's just a little all over the place, right? If the hook into Counter-Strike comes at the same time as the engage, if then the hostile takeover comes at the same time as the Magnet Storm, it's just a little bit more powerful, right? Now they have to back out because Humanoid's respawning. How would I word what SK are doing here? I think it all comes down to Isma's early game. I think their mid game is solid, if a little greedy at times, and they're good at punishing mistakes. But Isma's control of the early game, or at least SK's control of Isma's position in the early game, has really allowed them to accelerate this game away from Fnatic. The issue is, mechanically, they're not quite as good, so they are falling behind in terms of gold, because often they overload one side of the map to... force the enemy into giving up major objectives. So they overloaded to force into Void Grubs, they've overloaded to force into Drakes. Irrelevant is really strong, and they're using his strength to pull him into the fights. However, by doing that, they are sacrificing side lane, which is how Fnatic have got back into the game. I think that's how I describe this. Because you look at Irrelevant, he's 4-0, he's been 4-0 for a while, but he's behind on CS on Oscarinin. Oscarin's taken 2 tier 2s. By putting Irrelevant into battles, they are making sure that they can win the fights around objectives. Which is fine. But against a better team that doesn't take the fights at objectives as often, and just plays side lanes, or a more coordinated team, or a team that has that game plan, I think they might struggle a little bit. Let's have another look at this. Alright, so how have we set up for this? Oh, fuck. Here we are. Oh, that's post, right? Okay, so what's the setup? Setup really comes from here, right? Irrelevant comes for the flank. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Better team is a bit dull. I don't want to... That's why I'm not, like, better team. So, Irrelevant sets up for the flank. He gets the ult out. He doesn't have to burn anything apart from his own ult. So now SK are like, okay, we have mid prio because Fnatic are on the back foot. Let's move 2 across here. Let's get vision control. And let's get control of the Drake. They've already set up 1 ward here, but this is the only ward they have. Razuk can now step in. Niski and Exakick a little bit isolated. They don't have their key engaged threats. They don't have the threat of Irrelevant, and they don't have the threat of Magnet Storm. They give up mid prio and let Fnatic to walk in. However, this does give Niski the flank position. And Fnatic are so focused on this side of the fight, on killing Isma and taking the Drake, that they're not focused on this. DOS's position is a little questionable to me. What was he trying to do? It looks like he starts to think about going all the way bot, and then he says, actually, if I position here, I can play across here. I think DOS maybe should have been here, but then there's the risk of the hook, I guess. He could have also been trying to loop all the way around. I'd have to ask him. DOS doesn't like me as a caster, so... That's a fine flash from DOS. I know it seems weird, but you flash ult. Did he do it right? Ah. I think he flashes a bit late, right? Because if you ult flash, doesn't it go from where you land? Yeah, okay. I still think it's a fine ult and flash if he does, if he plays the mechanic correctly. We saw this a little bit with his Bard Qs as well. Let's have another look. Okay, so the Fnatic is so beelined on killing Isma, who has Locket. Irrelevant does a really good job of stunning the backline, but SK know exactly how they want to fight this. Like, oh, fuck me. Like, they're doing this from minute one. Hey, we've all been there, Bambi, okay? Everyone makes this mistake from time to time. Yeah, I mean, this is on Irrelevant. Irrelevant plays this really well. Like, he and Isma are like, we just survived the initial engage. But even when you see the damage on Isma, it's only really Humanoid who can hit, right? Noah hits once, gets stunned, gets locked up, and is dead. I think Noah gets one auto attack. Maybe two auto attacks down in this entire fight. You ready for Joker? I'm just going to finish up this review if that's cool. It's pretty much over. The idea? You mean the idea of the hostile takeover? The hostile, like this hostile takeover is 100% fine, right? This hostile takeover is 100% fine if he R flashes properly. I mean, it's still fine anyway because it reaches, right? But he should R flash, and then the hostile takeover should be going from here instead of from here. That makes sense. It's a great fight from SK. Thanks, Crowfoot. I'm trying to do more of them because I'm trying to be better at understanding the game and work out how I present information. I haven't done them like this in the past, but... Hey, Remix, thanks for the gifted sub. That's very kind. I apologize.
Remix lol 1 drop to fat.
That's very kind, Remix. Yeah, I'll just be like 2 more minutes. I'm pretty sure this game is over from here, right? But yeah, my plan from now on is like every Tuesday. Not next week or the week after because I'm on holiday, or the week after. But like every Tuesday after the LEC, I'll wake up in the morning and do like a VOD review or not. I mean, it's a good fight. Niski does his job. Irrelevant's just so fucking tanky. Irrelevant plays this really well. So does Isma. Like, credit to him. Only dying right at the end, right? He tanks everything. I think Fnatic get too greedy to stop the soul. Cloud Soul is great and all, but like in this moment, just before this engage, you should be like, hey guys, have we thought about these two fuckers over here, you know? Yeah. Because even if you kill Isma and you get the Drake, like, you don't do anything after that, you know? Yeah, so that's Baron. The SK play well with Baron. They should do, right? They use Niski to answer pressure because he's got TP. Irrelevant in mid lane because he has TP. And then you overload bot. Niski's still answering Humanoid. I think Humanoid could have moved here, given up the pressure on that lane and tried to make a play. Maybe they're calling for next item, but no one's near third. Niski keeps Humanoid around. Isma just shadowing. You got tier 2, rest of the team comes across. Fnatic still looking for a fight, but hostile takeover. It's not the best one I've ever seen, but it does its job. Magnet Storm a little bit deep. He's going to die, but they get the tower, which is all they were really looking for. This isn't the best fight, I'm going to be honest. Like, Niski's TP is a little late for what he wants it to do. He only catches it on Razork. He doesn't have flash. Yeah, I think Niski ults too early. And Isma, I don't think needed to be as greedy as he was, right? Because you could have just been like, okay, hostile takeover, forced him off. We have cannon minion, we can just kill tower and then go. They go early to kill Jun, but I don't think they need to go early there. I think like, fighting the Drake is fine. It's just the way they fought the Drake was really bad. So they did. I mean, yeah. It's a good hook, but it's on irrelevant again, right? Yeah, this ult from Isma feels like we've used a lot. Let's keep using a lot because Niski's TPing in, but Niski can't get close enough, right? If Niski had flash, 100% perfect play. Great play. How do they see Niski here? So control ward is cleared by Niski, and they're just like, maybe he's staying there. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? But they lose this fight. Pretty sure. Because... Oh, Irrelevant can't get in, but Exekick is free hitting. Yeah, they still just lose 1 for 1. SK get Elder? No, Cloud Soul. Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. I think Isma's pathing early game was super strong. Even his ability to like cover for his bot lane. SK's bot lane made a couple of mistakes, but generally it was fine. That's greed, Niski, man. They're just trying to find something, like get a flash out before the Baron. Azir can be incredibly strong. This is good positioning from Isma. Fate's Call Out, Oscar in half HP. What have we burnt? Pod Blossom and Magnet Storm. I feel like Sundisks are tankier than they used to be. And the other thing with Azir is you can both have pressure in the lane and be safe. Okay, SK just trying to pull Fnatic into a fight. And Niski. That's well played by SK. They never want to take the Baron here. All they're doing is they're waiting for Fnatic to push in, the control would play, and then they just clear it, right? How do they set this up? Okay, so what they do is Niski goes the long way around to make sure that he's not spotted on any vision in the river. So they'd see him going into the bush. So, for example, if there was a ward here, right, that isn't spotted by the control ward, or here, right? Niski goes the long way around, gets into this bush, makes himself a control ward, which is what you'd expect to see in that bush, right? Irrelevant is the one that Fnatic are like, oh, we have to force Irrelevant out of here, so he's distracting. And then Fnatic are like, oh, Baron's starting to fall low, we have to push into here. And Niski uses that mental edge to be like, oh, they're going to push in, catches jungle, catches top, and the chase continues. Yeah, it's really well played. SK look good. Fnatic don't look bad from this game either, right? They did what they could when they were in a losing position, but SK look really good. Really.